welcome back to my channel. Tish here, and for today's Mom and Monday, I am hitting you guys up with my last update while I am still pregnant. So this is my 8th month, weeks 32 to 35. Yeah, weeks 32 to 35 of my pregnancy. So I'm going to be sharing all the symptoms, all the updates, everything to know about what's been going on with my body and baby girl as she continues to move right now. So like I said, the 8th month starts off with week 32, and that week just going to go ahead and share my weight. I was 147.2 pounds when I weighed myself at home, so that was like 0.4 pounds lighter than a week before. But as long as I continue to show that I am gaining weight each month, that's really all that I care about. That week I had a doctor's appointment and they did an ultrasound, and oh my gosh, y'all, baby girl finally decided to let me really get to see her. Normally she's just covering up her face or refusing to let us see what we need to see when we look at these ultrasounds, but I got to see her sucking in the amniotic fluids. I got to see her, what the technician said was a yawn. To me it was a laugh, because I was talking about how, you know, she's always so stubborn and she doesn't want us to see her, and I was like, look at her this time. And as soon as I said that, it looked like she started laughing at me. I'll put in a picture here so you can see where it looks like she's straight up laughing. So we got to see that. I got to see her breathing, so you can see, oh my gosh, it was just so beautiful. Her whole diaphragm expanding and contracting and releasing. Like, it was just such a great sight to see. Just getting to see that, because when I first saw her like taking in an amniotic fluid, I was like, is she doing kissy, like fish lips, whatever? And I was like, no, she is straight up drinking the amniotic. Like, I got to see her like suck it in and moving her mouth. Like, it was just such oh my gosh, like a overwhelming moment, because I go on there and I'm expecting her to be the whole I don't want to be seen person that she is whenever we have these ultrasounds. Like, stop looking at me. But this time she really let us see her and see how much she's developed, and it's just like, so yeah, so that happened. It's so exciting. I will say that my weight at my doctor's appointment was 153 pounds. So this was a couple days after I weigh. I always weigh myself on that Friday when my week transitions over. So this was, I think, a Tuesday's appointment, a Monday or a Tuesday appointment. So it was just a few days later, and at the doctor's office I was 153. But when I came home to check on my scale, it was 150. And I know, like, it's a big difference with me wearing my clothes at the doctor's office, my boots, whatever, and not really wearing much when I'm doing it at home. So I know there's a big difference in that, as well as just the scales themselves. But I just like to see, like I said, my monthly progression, and I just put in my weeks just to see where I'm going and make sure I'm not like losing weight drastically each week or whatever. So that week I had extreme shortness of breath at the beginning of the week, and then it started to die down towards the end of the week. I took my first prenatal yoga class that week, and I died. Like, I was like, ma'am, this is supposed to be yoga. What? We straight up working out. She had us doing lunges. She had us doing like hardcore squats. And I'm just like, ma'am, I'm not there yet. So I think it was myself and one other person's first time taking a class. And I'm just used to yoga being breathing and stretching, not all this stuff where my heart is starting to go faster and I'm getting warmer. Like, no. But most of the other ladies on there were pretty much due in February. So this was the last Saturday of January. So they only had a couple weeks to 3 to 4 weeks to go. So they were ready to do these exercises to get that baby in position. I was not ready. They also probably had experienced the baby dropping. I had not. I could not breathe. Like, I just straight up, I was like, I can't breathe. So thankfully it was Zoom and not face to face, because I would have been flat out embarrassed if I was doing that in front of people, especially when I'm a dancer. Like, I could not. So out of shape. But yeah, so that was interesting. So I did sign up for some other classes, so we'll see what happens in the future with that whole yoga thing. But I did figure out like 2 positions that I would love to deliver baby girl doing. One was like laying on my side holding my leg up, and then the other one was in that squat that she had us sitting in, which felt so good. And then one is pretty much the position that I do when I can't breathe, and that's just me like cradle over on all fours, where my stomach is not touching the bed, because my chest is a little bit propped up on pillows or whatever. But pretty much in that position where the doctor's looking at my bottom for me to deliver. But those just seem like great positions, especially with me having scoliosis. I will say that that has not been a problem during this pregnancy. I've not had lower back pain issues or anything. But I also don't want to have that pop up when I'm delivering. So yeah, so I was able to figure out some positions to do for delivery. The Latin crotch continued to be there. Talked about that in my last update, so go check that out if you haven't already, so you know what I'm talking about. Started purchasing things for the nursery, so excited. And I also started to clean out the closets. I have accumulated so many different school supplies, and that's kind of where they've gone, into that closet. So they need to come out. So we have a big donation that we're gonna go take to the place pretty much where I got them from, because my students never use them, and me going from different schools, I just take it with me, and then my students still don't use them all. So we're gonna be donating all those school supplies. Like, I have bins of notebooks and paper and just folders, like so much stuff. So we cleaned out her closet so it looks super cute. I covered up the blue stripes that were in there with pink and gold wallpaper, so it matched like the whole bedroom scheme, like her nursery colors. It looks so cute. Can't wait for y'all to see the nursery. I can't wait to see nursery whenever it gets done. So that was pretty much it for week 32. The highlight was definitely getting to see that ultrasound and seeing her move and be active, and just knowing that her body is doing what it needs to do to survive when she comes out. Week 33, I was 149 pounds at home. Did not have a doctor's appointment. My doctor's appointments were only every 2 weeks at that time. We did have our virtual baby shower, and it was just so sweet. Only about a third of the people that RSVP'd showed up, but I think it was just a nice, sweet moment. We played games. I opened up, well, not opened up because things were shipped to me, but I showed the gifts that I got in. So yeah, so it was just a cute baby shower to have. Quick, fast, and easy. And kind of like the whole situation of not having to serve people and like entertain people, walk around, you know, like, so I really enjoyed it, and I heard good responses and feedback from the people who did attend. That week I also started to experience the extreme hunger again, as I did like back in the beginning of my pregnancy. So pretty much felt like I was starving, even though I had just eaten not too long before. As I'm eating, almost done with the meal, and then I start to feel like I hadn't eaten in hours. Meanwhile, I'm almost done with my plate and I feel like I hadn't eaten. So yeah, like extreme hunger, constant hunger. So I was constantly eating that week, and I was also very moody, and not in a good way. So yeah, started to feel more movement. Like before, it was more of the waves and the rolls, and that week it went back to the punches and the kicks, the elbows. So yeah, so it went back to, you know, the good old days when she was smaller, and now I'm feeling it and she's a lot bigger. So had that happen, my stomach like went through a major growth spurt and became super itchy. So it's like still itchy now, no matter how often I moisturize, it's just so itchy. It's just being stretched beyond, I don't even know. I also created the nesting schedule for me to get things done. So like each week I'm focusing on 2 areas of the house. I will be honest and say I have not really followed that. I am so tired when I come home from work that all I want to do is lay down and sleep. I even missed one of my classes for grad school because I just completely forgot and I was just so tired. And this is my last semester of grad school, and I don't need to be missing any classes. So yeah, I'm super tired. And then my weird dreams, like the dreams have escalated to cinematic experiences where I'm legit like, did I just go to another realm just by walking through this bathroom door? Like I felt like I was in Hogsworth or Hogsmeade from Harry Potter, where I'm like going into these buildings and going into the bathroom stalls and ended up somewhere else. Like super weird dreams. Week 34, 153.2 pounds. So this week I had 2 doctor's appointments. I went to my last visit with the maternal fetal medicine doctor. So I graduated. My fibroids, even though they have not grown significantly, have not caused any major issues. The one fibroid that's on my cervix, like I said a couple weeks ago, they're not checking that, or they stopped checking that anyway. So that's just something that my OB practice will have to check as well, now that I'm going every week. They're probably going to be checking that just to see what happens, and as baby girl continues to drop and get into position for delivery is when they really are going to check it. So that specialist was like, you graduated, you're done, it's your last appointment. So Mac did go with me for that one. That way he can get to see baby girl in the ultrasound, because we're not sure if we're going to get any more ultrasounds. She went back to her normal self, so we didn't get to see much. He did get to see all of her organs, because they did check that. Her brain, her kidney, her liver, her stomach, her heart. We got to see her breathing. She wasn't doing it on her own because they don't have to breathe that way. They're not taking in any oxygen that way. So the girl went and got this freaking zapper and started zapping my stomach, and I'm sitting there looking at her like, that is not necessary. I've already seen it. She can do it. Just let her be. And she kept sending those electric waves to my baby, and I was just like, just so you can see her breathe. Really, come on. She can do it. Look at my chart from the other doctor. It should be in there. So that was just a little awkward and weird. It kind of threw me off. One, I don't like vibration. My phone is not even on vibrate. I cannot stand it. So for me, I kept feeling it even after she was done. And 2, it was just like that. It just seemed excessive because she did it like 6 times. And I'm just like, enough's enough. So that was that. And then I went to see my OB that week. Had a very horrible experience there. It wasn't the OB that I'm actually assigned to, but you see all of the OBs at the practice because you just don't know who's going to be on call when you deliver. But yeah, so that OB just gave like false information. She was very aggressive with me, jumping to conclusions and assuming things, and I just did not like it. And this is how guilty she was. She called me like by the time I got in the car to say, I don't think that went well. Yeah, it didn't go well. You were very aggressive and accusing me of things that made it seem like I didn't care about my baby's health or my health. You know, it was just like, and it just boiled down because they made an appointment for me on February 28th without even calling me, without checking to see if that time worked. Like, I just so happened to go into my chart to look at my other appointments, and I was like, what is this appointment? Where did this come from? And I was just like, that time just doesn't work for me. Like, you guys set this appointment without even talking to me about it. That was my biggest thing. It wasn't me saying I don't want to do this and I don't want to have this procedure done. It was me saying you should never schedule appointments for patients without them knowing. Like, that's what I was trying to get at. But she tried to make it seem like I was saying I didn't want to do it and I didn't care and blah blah blah, and I was just really like, I'm so over y'all. Unfortunately, if baby girl doesn't come until her due date, or that Wednesday, I think it was, the 23rd of March, she definitely will be the doctor on call to deliver my baby. So that's that part about that. But yeah, so that was that week's experiences with the doctor. Baby girl weighed 5 pounds and 5 ounces at that time, which put her at the 57th percentile. So that was great to hear, because the last time I went, she was in a 74th, and I was freaking out that I was gonna have a 10-pound baby. But now she's, you know, going back to average, so no major worries there that I'm gonna have a 10-pound baby or even a 9-pound baby. Hopefully not even an 8-pound baby. So based on my weight, I don't think she's gonna be that big, because I'm not gaining that much. We shall see. So yeah, so we got the induction scheduled that week. I set it for March 24th. So I did find out the whole reason for the induction was not just because of my age, but it's because of my age and the placenta. But I know exactly when I conceived, so I know that my week 40 is my week 40 and not like my week 42. But it's just precaution, because the placenta can stop functioning, and they want to make sure that the baby comes out before. So for me, I'm just like, I'm going to the doctor every week. You're checking her, doing the non-stress test every week. So if something's going on, you should be able to catch it and tell me if I need to go early or not. And if I have to go early, I'll go early. But other than that, there's no need to schedule it too far in advance. So the first date they gave me was the 20th and the 21st, and I was like, well, we might as well just leave it at the 24th and the 25th, and if she comes early, she comes early, and if she doesn't, then we know that she's going to come by her due date. So that is the date that we have. So I go in that night before, and with the hopes that by that next morning she's ready to come out, which will be her due date. I was told that I had to do the NST, non-stress test, every week, starting week 36. So not only am I going weekly for the appointments, but while I'm there, I have to do the non-stress test as well. All right, so the last week of that month is week 35. And I started that week off at 152.4. I will say this week was kind of wonky with my scale, because every time I got on a scale it said something different, and this was like all within 5 minutes. So at one point it said 154, 152, 151. So I just went with the 152 because that was a little bit of an average between those weights. I weighed myself 2 days later and it said 154. So I'm pretty sure that's probably what I was. Again, I don't know what's going on with the scales, but based on that, for the whole month I gained about 5 to 7 pounds. So which is pretty much, the 5 pounds is on track for me. The 7 not so much, but it's okay. It still seems as though all of my weight at that point was still going to my stomach, because I wasn't really noticing it anywhere else. By the end of that week, I did notice that my boobs looked swollen again, and they were becoming very tender. Baby should have been about the size of a squash, so that's about 5¼ pounds. So based on what her actual weight was, that means that she is right on track with what the average baby is. So this is just from the baby app, because we did not have an appointment that week with the doctor. So the app does say that the baby that week is supposed to be gaining a lot of weight, like putting on the mass. So they're not as skinny anymore. They're starting to fill up. And the week before, I did get a 3D ultrasound picture. I was not expecting that. I did not even want it. And she looked like she was pretty good at that already. Her face was already filled in. She had some really big chubby cheeks. Her arms and hands looked pretty well filled with, you know, some fatty substance. So I think she's doing good in that department. But other than that, you know, still with the hunger, able to eat stuff that I hadn't eaten since the beginning of my pregnancy when I stopped wanting it. So that was a major improvement, being able to eat whatever I want. I'm still super tired when I got home, so taking naps, like this is when I'm actually taking naps every day this week. As soon as I get home, I get on the phone with my mom. If I'm not falling asleep while I'm on the phone with her, I fall asleep right after I'm on the phone with her. So yeah, this week has just been one of those weeks where I knew I needed to nest, but I was too tired to do anything. So that nesting schedule is still just sitting on the fridge, not being touched. I did start to use the bathroom more often. If I get up from sitting down and laying down, then I definitely have to go to use the bathroom, even if I had just used it maybe 15 to 30 minutes prior, like I have to go again. So those are really the only major things that went on for week 35. So yeah, so that was my 8th month of pregnancy. Like I said, we're counting down now in our last month. Cannot believe it. I'll go ahead and show you guys the bump now and how it's changed. Okay, so this is front, and you can see that it continues to get darker. I just took off my belly belt, so you might see the lines from that, just to give me some support. All right, this is the right side, and this is the left side. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, this is my last update while I'm still pregnant. My next update, I will have baby girl with me and be showing her and sharing her with you guys. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, because I will be coming to you every Monday with Mom and Monday videos and Wednesdays with homemaking videos. And I am finally going to get my sister to sister videos or series started for Saturday. So you definitely want to join in for that to get some just womanly advice on how we can live our best, productive, joyful, peaceful lives. So hit that subscribe button if you want more. Leave a comment down below of some video ideas that you might want to see, and definitely give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in a few days in my next video. Bye.